All right, so 3 tips smart home buyers should be using if they want to buy in this market, in any market. Tip number 1, have a plan, don't feel rushed. There's a lot that goes into this, but I think it can be really helpful and just helpful advice for any decision making. But my main strategy for buyers is to have conversations early and often. So if you have questions, if you're just trying to figure out this whole home buying thing, because maybe it feels really difficult or confusing or hard, start the process early. What I see too often is people call me, they email me, they leave comments and say, hey, my lease is expiring, or my landlord just told me they're going to be selling the property. We've been here for 5, we've been here for 10 years. It's been great. Now we don't know what we're going to do. Because here's the challenge. The challenge is you've been locked into a great rental situation. Maybe you've had a great landlord, but now you're going to the open market and you're going to be paying more in rent. There's questions around, do you have pets? There's so many complications with renting that if you're put into a position where you have to figure this out in a short amount of time, 60 days, you have a 60-day notice to vacate, it can be really challenging to address your mortgage readiness in that window. So even if you don't think you want to buy a home in the next 3, 4, 5, 6 months, having a plan a year ahead of time is a great place to be. So plan, have conversations early and often, ask the right questions. If you can be flexible, that's also really important. Have a lease that is month to month. Have flexibility with your landlord to say, hey, we're planning on buying a home. We don't know if we're going to. Is that something you can work with us on? A lot of people are willing to work with you, some aren't, but you got to figure that out early so that, hey, with the end of our leases coming up, we want to be prepared to determine, should we buy now? Are we ready to buy now? Or should we continue to rent? Renting, I will just say this as a side note, is always a win if it's done through the lens of buying a home. Don't just rent forever with your head down. Have a plan. Okay, number 2, if you're in the market, avoid homes with deferred maintenance. Everything's expensive. Groceries, the list is long, but things are expensive. And homeowners have equity. They don't necessarily have cash. And here's what that means. It means a homeowner may be willing to, through the buying process, repair some things that need to be done, or maybe they've done that already. And when I say things, we're talking about roofs, foundation, siding, paint, your HVAC, some of the major things we call the bones of the house, to be able to prepare their home for market. And if they haven't done that, they could potentially do that through the equity. So looking at it through the lens of, hey, we're either going to negotiate some repairs to be done, either prior to closing or after closing, because this owner, they have equity. And equity is a cash position in their home, but it's not money, it's not liquid. So use strategies, avoid homes with major deferred maintenance, but also negotiate repairs where you can. The third tip is that housing just wins in the long run. This is not a short-term money-making quick scheme. This is a long-term wealth building opportunity. And it's building wealth twofold. One, the outflow, the payment, we've got renting and buying, is going to reduce your principal. Okay, that's why you own a home. It's a loan, you're paying back the loan, we're reducing the principal. That is future wealth for you. Paying rent, 100% goes into your landlord's pocket. The difference here is that over the long run, you also have the appreciation gain in housing. And yes, there are question marks around where housing prices will go. But the reality is supply and demand, super limited. Home prices are going to continue to appreciate, even in the face of things like inflation. Those are going to push asset prices higher. So home prices will continue to rise until we have some solution, or until there's some really major economic crises, which if you're in the homes are going to crash bucket of people, that's always a possibility because nobody can predict the future. And if you're in the boat of, I want to buy a house, long-term, you got to think long-term. Market cycles are about 7 to 10 years. Get into a position, which we'll talk about later, where you can weather any type of storm. It's not always a poor financial decision when you look at it through the long term. And waiting around for something we're not sure is going to happen isn't always the best strategy as well. Housing wins in the long run. So paying down principal, having appreciation over the long term, really focusing as a tip on a 5-year window. It's hard for us just as human beings to think longer than that. So really think at a 5-year window. Think, hey, can we make it in this position if we're looking at buying this specific home? We've addressed the deferred maintenance. Now, can we be here for 5 years? 5-year window is always going to win for you. So again, very confusing market. People are unsure, should we even buy? It's so expensive. It's so hard. Rates are high. What do we do? You have to pull the emotion out of it. be strategic, ask yourself those questions, use the tips that we've given you, and decide whether or not buying a home is the right call for you and your family.